I mean, once we get back here and we see this fence line, I mean, compromise is all there. I mean, we understand that the impact is not going to be completely not on our property, but
show me on here where we're walking out to.
Where are we at?
So we were just up here, and then we walked back down to your house.
So
and then
let's see the back fence line. So there's the green field right there, where you would set the nodes, and then it cuts through the woods this way.
Gotcha.
And then it goes up. It just slices all kinds of trees.
Okay. So up there is where we were a little bit ago.
Correct. So here you go. So there's your green field. Goes to there. So, and you'll be able to see the pasture. It's pasture land all the way up until we get to that Charlotte Eubanks on the other side of the fence line. So that tape right, once again, that's the center line.
Probably, I don't know the one hanging on the tree. Yep, actually where the marks are.
The actual stakes in the ground
are the center line.
Okay. They tie those flags just to
follow.
Visually.
They're pretty close.
Okay.
The wheel through here.
The ones tied around the trees are just
all of
so
it.
They can locate it because the actual center line itself is a stake driven in the ground. They're just harder.
Yeah, it's up there. There's one that's driven.
So Jason, he brought the.
Yeah, I think I can see it, but I'm not sure.
I took a wheel and I walked it off, and it's like 80 foot from the fence line, which is the supposed property line here, and it veers further off of the fence line as it goes down the hillside.
Just a big old massive L shape of destruction.
Did y'all want to go up to the PI?
Sure.
Well, that was kind of the reason we're standing about right here. Correct. Yeah. We were hoping. The original hope was to come and skirt, because when you look across the fence line, see the treetops?
Those are baby trees.
And those are just.
Which, quite honestly, you could bring a mulch head in on a good, decent piece of equipment and mow right through that. No log trucks, no paying for lumber.
They left a couple of larger trees, look like just on the other side of the fence.
But the majority of them is scrubbery.
So this fence line is the property line?
So you got Charlotte Eubanks, Mr. Waddell.
Yeah.
Based on your node point over there, preserve, even if it took all the woods all the way to the property line here to get there, it could be extended a little bit that way, but not much, because then you're dealing with more trees. They've got a little bit, as you can see. It used to be a road that ran through there, but they've let it overgrow. But that was our hopes, was to skirt all the way around. But once again, based on what you were stating, if that is absolutely impossible,
We'll take the L on the back, but
to extend it as close to the property line as possible. Why would you leave, just a single row of trees, 20, 30 foot or 40 foot, whatever that ends up being? If that's the center line and you're doing, as tall as these trees are, you're going to have to do more than 100-foot easement probably, right?
Well, the easement would still just be 100 foot. That's all we would have on the easement.
Okay.
Would be 100 foot. Now it would be cleared.
So that leaves 30 foot from this fence, which is going to be
Documentation I've seen
about
says
here.
we will take out higher trees if necessary.
Well, and that's the reason a lot of times we'll leave a buffer between the edge of the easement and the property line, is so that we don't have to go take danger trees off of a property owner that had not been previously engaged in the process. Now, we do that if we have to get danger tree rights on adjacent property owners. We do that. That's something our realty team negotiates. So But yes, to your point, there is a possibility that we would have to take trees off the right-of-way. Now that's not, John and I don't make that decision. Our right-of-way group does that. Once the line is in service and built, they own the right-of-way and the maintenance. And so, but yes, there would be the chance that they would have to take a tree down that's off the right-of-way if they determine it's a fall-in threat to the line.
I mean, that's still,
These poles and the line, are the poles, are the lines going to be separated horizontally or vertically?
single mast, or they?
They're going to be
stand
single
like
mast.
those.
I just don't know if they're going to do it horizontal or vertical.
So it'll be either a single pole with, so the
I've
way,
always been told single pole.
okay, then that's very likely what is it. And the single poles, you have two cross arms at the top, one on either side, and there's a conductor that attaches to those. And then the third phase, there's a cross arm about 12 feet below the two top ones that third conductor attaches to on a single pole configuration.
Gotcha.
On a horizontal configuration, which I don't think that's what they're planning here. I think it's single pole. But on a horizontal configuration, it's two poles with a cross arm, and it's just horizontal.
Gotcha.
Not what I envisioned, but okay.
It just goes back to our original point that there should have been consideration on that side. of the
Right after
property.
our email, after the virtual tour,
Yeah.
it should have been looked at.
Yeah. Well, at that point, once we get into the open house process and the virtual tour, those owners that had not been invited or included as part of that, we don't want to go back after the fact and bring people, because it takes a lot of work for us to just get to that open house phase. There's a lot of, John, jump in here.
I mean,
Yeah.
the term there though is virtual, which means not real.
Well,
it's not
so-
it's not a real tour of what the layout of the land is.
Well,
And some of us didn't get those letters
Yeah.
in time to get out there and
So-
look.
That's
a
right.
lot of that was not our choice.
Like our lives are, our daily
When-
schedules are not TVA's,
Understood, but when we got the COVID policies handed down, we used to do these open houses in person. And
Oh, I wish he'd go back.
so we that virtual platform is what we had to do, and we were under restrictions about travel, public gatherings, which we were told this is how it's gonna be, and so that virtual platform was what we had to do. But we are going back to doing more in-person open houses. So
Yeah,
which that's unfortunate because this would have been seen.
no, it's not. There's going to be excess cost on the back end of this if it continues to go as what's charted out. There's going to be
Yeah, absolutely.
exorbitant extra cost.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make sure of it because oversight, due to the logistics that you had to follow, was corporate's problem. So corporate, that needs to come out of their pocket. If they're making decisions that make your job more difficult so that you can't be precise, this will be a final nail in the coffin to go back to the way it should be so that people have proper assessment, done before their properties are affected.
Yep.
I wouldn't say we're where we are because of that.
Yes, sir.
But all that to say, we are going back to the in-person open houses. We're going to keep the virtual platform though, so
For
that
people that are
have that
interested, you
option.
can have
Yeah,
online
it sucked.
access to.
It does.
It
I
sucked.
hate doing anything electronically.
I know.
No,
I
well,
understand.
that's why we want to offer both.
That's why we're doing both. Yeah.
I mean,
The arsenal, that's the biggest problem we have with these engineers is they don't bother to get up from their desk and do an on-site visit to make sure what they're designing is accurate. And, it wastes a lot
y'all
of people's
always
time.
have to go back.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
stuff.
it costs money, to have to go back and do that. And that's part of it. If you don't operate as efficient as you can, it costs more money, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, Jason, I think, I hope that you guys feel like we've heard your
Absolutely.
I do.
today,
I do.
and
Absolutely.
we can take that back with us.
All right. If there's any way that you can swing a big bat for us, you know, because we can't go up there and go through your chain of command and make anything
Right.
happen.
Well, you know, like I said, we can't commit to any changes
Yes,
from
sir.
where we are right
Right.
now.
Understandable.
Right here. And this could be where it ends up. But anyway, we can go back and talk about it.
Okay.
But because, again, no promises at all.
Well, I understand
I
that.
understand it.
Because, you know, I hope y'all can understand. But it takes us a lot of work to get there. I mean,
Well,
the siting process can take us, you know, months and months.
That's
and
what I explained to her is that,
But when
you know,
it comes to our property though, and where we're going to live for the rest of our lives, I don't mean to sound rude, but I don't care.
I understand. Well, and you
Yeah.
heard me say we are very respectful of.
yeah.
I don't care what it took you to get to this point.
And she stated
totally
she
understand.
couldn't, you know,
You're
have
making
a
a
job
salary
like you
to
guys
get-
have because this is difficult for you, and we understand that, you know, and so that's why we're just simply trying to do our best to explain our perspective so that you, as our liaison, can do what you can.
Not. I've got an
If our
hour and
realty
20
people
minutes.
come out here and want to write you a check, please take it. All right.
No, no, I mean,
Hell no.
no,
Nope.
not without. Severe
But-
litigation.
Right. Well, it's a voluntary purchase. You know, our realty folks would, when it gets to that point, whether even if it's like it shows it,
Okay.
Listen.
let's say that's what we end up doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it very well could be.
I understand.
You will be approached by somebody from TVA Realty, and they will approach you about an offer for the easement rights, and it's a negotiation.
Right.
And
Oh,
now,
we
at
understand.
that point, John and I are involved,
Correct.
and
Yeah, and they'll get no thank you, and then they can go, and then you know, we fully plan. We'll have it appraised, and we'll have legal counsel when it comes to the realty process, and we'll have somebody represent us in that manner.
that is well within y'all's right to do.